Yeah.
Like,
The last MMO I played was Dungeon Fighter Online, and that went down, but I had already stopped playing it by the time it went down.
Yeah.
And
I heard it
played
came
a lot
back.
of Guild Wars 2 also.
Yeah. The only MMOs I played were I did Final Fantasy XI, and I have some fond memories of that and some stories to tell. They were mostly based around some of the shittier mechanics.
Okay.
I did Warhammer Age of Reckoning, and I really enjoyed that till I got to the point where my computer would start catching on fire playing it.
Oh, okay.
Not literally.
Yeah.
So the thing about the Age of Reckoning is it was a very PvP focused MMO.
Okay.
And the cool idea it had is for each race on one side of the conflict, there was a counterpart on the other side. So it's like, okay, you had the greenskins versus the dwarves,
Okay.
the humans versus the demons, and the high elves versus the dark elves.
Okay.
And it's like you had these like direct parallels. And the main thrust was the humans versus the demons. The other two were like these side things. But for each conflict, there was a battlefield, and for each battlefield, there were 4 tiers.
Okay.
And the tiers were level based. So like when you're in this range of levels, these are the zones you operate on. And by the way, this is another one that we had to do multiple times. We're just cutting right to the good
kind
one.
of obnoxious.
So you had these multiple tiers, right? And then for each of the first 3 tiers, there were 3 zones per battlefield per tier. There was one that was definitively your side, one that was definitively the other side, and a contested area.
Okay, that makes sense.
And the more your side does, both PvE and PvP, the further you push that line.
Right.
Till eventually you push them back to their gate. And in the end game zone, there are 5. Like there are 3 contested and the 2 mains. And then your capital city is at the far end.
Okay.
So if you manage to push it all the way to the capital city, you can lay siege to the enemy capital city. And that opens up all these really super difficult PvE quests that are these hybrid PvE PvP. Because not only are you fighting against the city's defenders and like the boss monsters, but enemy players will be trying to interfere with you as well because they're joining in the defense. But if you can manage to do all of that, you can lay siege and sack the city and like break in to rival guilds' vaults and steal their shit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's this really awesome thing. And even if you're in the lower tiers, if you push it all the way back, the points you're scoring at the low tier will start to funnel up to the high tier. So you have all this really cool stuff, and probably the coolest thing about this game are the sieges. Because in each zone, there are designated areas that are PvE and designated PvP spots.
Okay.
And if you're in the PvE zone, unless you're flagged for PvP combat, which you either get for going into the PvP area or for attacking somebody who's flagged for combat, they can't attack you. So even if you come across a player of rival faction, if you're not flagged for PvP, they can't hurt you.
Okay.
So it cuts down on ganking. And on top of that, the higher it goes, the more of the area is dedicated to PvP. And once you get into like the 2nd or 3rd tiers, you get these strongholds in the PvP areas that you can capture and raise the flag of your guild on.
Okay.
So your guild can have its own keep
That is pretty cool.
that rival factions can lay siege to and try to claim.
Damn.
And then to add to it, if you have multiple guilds trying to lay siege to a castle, whoever kills the castle's NPC leader is the one that gets it. So not only do you have guilds working together to lay siege to a keep, you also have them secretly working against each other so that they get to be the ones to claim it.
Right.
Because your guild gets all these crazy bonuses for doing it. So you end up having these like 40 to 80 person PvP battles going on.
Okay.
Which is amazing. that my computer could not handle.
Uh-huh.
And that's what killed it for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that's a really cool thing if you have the rig for it. Which I didn't. Oh well.
Yeah.
And then the game died. Oh
Yep.
well. It also didn't help that I picked the squishiest class in the entire fucking game.
Yeah.
For completely nerdy, stupid reasons. It was horribly balanced. That class was terrible. The idea behind the class is you summon up these... It's kind of a hunter class with infinite pets that are
Okay.
completely expendable that you can sacrifice either for health bonuses or to do damage.
Okay.
The trouble is, if the hunter character dies, the pet dies with them.
Uh-huh.
And since it's so PvP focused, no one ever bothered to not just go for the hunter.
Right,
'Cause
that
they have
makes
the-
sense.
So it turned out to be shitty.
Yeah.
It also didn't help that the most broken class on the other side was a ranged caster. So, yeah, I did not have fun times in PvP.
Yeah, I guess not. What you were describing actually sounds a lot like what Guild Wars 2 probably based its world versus world stuff on. Because they've got all these keeps and stuff, and you can lay siege to them, you can build siege weapons and whatnot. You don't have specific guilds that claim these places, but, like, they're obviously your turf, and then obviously their turf,
Yeah.
and you can take stuff over. Eventually you can take over pretty much everything except like one little encampment, because there's got to be some place for people to spawn if they want to do something in that world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds a lot like they got their inspiration from what you were talking about.
Yeah, because there's a lot of really cool things in that game that just, you know, they were trying to be World of Warcraft, and you can't World of Warcraft, just like you
Yeah.
can't Call of Duty.
Right.
Because they're established, they have infinite money, and they can do whatever the fuck they want, and they already have a fan base dedicated to them. So, you know, if you're gonna try and challenge them, you need to do something different.
Yeah, pretty much.
And just having the Warhammer license and being PvP focused is not gonna do it.
Yeah. Rather unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I
That
think that's
was
why-
your try.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
Because
I'm a
I've got
huge...
no rhythm.
I'm a huge fan of like Space Channel 5 and all that good stuff. So this is my jam.
Yep. Yeah, you were comparing it to Space Channel 5, even the end sequence here.
Da 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 da. Woo!
Yep.
Well, the thing about Space Channel 5 dance fights is they would always do the same set of motions. They would just do it faster and faster
Right.
until the very, very last one where they would add like 3 extra moves.
Yeah, that makes
Like,
sense.
This 1-1-1-1-1-1 is very Space Channel 5 for anyone who's played Space Channel 5. And if you haven't played Space Channel 5, I would go recommend picking it up. It's cheap now and it's super fun. And it's got one of the goofiest settings ever, where it's retro future swinging science fiction.
And it has Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson's in it and he's great. It's Space Michael.
Yep.
But it's like the opening lines are all you really need to know about this. It's like, aliens are attacking the spaceport and they're forcing people to dance. You can do it, ooh la la. Outdance all of them. Let's dance.
That's awesome. You gotta love those silly premises that are taken somewhat seriously within their universe.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's actually kind of the whole conceit of Jojo.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Like you were the one that said this. And I think it's the best way of describing Jojo. It's the writer is laughing his ass off, but the characters have the straightest face.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, God damn it, Jojo.
It's fantastic.
The wedding ring of Wamu.
Yeah. Like, you know it's ridiculous, but the characters, they're in trouble, and, like, their lives are in danger, and so they can't think of it as ridiculous.
This is the taste of a liar.
Out of context, Jojo is the best too.
Oh man, like there's the one with oh fuck, what's its name? It's damn it, I'm normally good with JoJo shit, but you have this like fuck, I'm forgetting everything. For some reason, I just can only remember California King Bed, which is the hardest one to describe because it's the most specific and stupid superpower ever. It's all right. If you are talking to me, you are now under the influence of California King Bed.
Wow.
The only way to defeat California King Bed is to get me to step on my own shadow.
Oh my
I'm
God.
blind. You trip California King Bed's power if you treat me any differently because I'm blind. And if you treat me differently, it will steal a memory that is precious to you in the form of a chess piece.
Holy shit.
If you break the chess piece, you lose the memory. You have to get me to step on my shadow.
Oh my God, that's
But
amazing.
you have to trick me, assuming I have sight, which I don't. And if you try and use that against me, my power is triggered.
Holy shit.
That's the dumbest fucking power.
It's so convoluted. I love it. And I just realized that they captured the chickens too.
Yeah.
Also, I love the newspaper headlines. Latin hottie bus voodoo mama.
Part 8 has some of the dumbest powers.
Oh yeah. I'm not too surprised because like it's been going on for a really long time.
Yeah. Well, granted,
powers were already convoluted.
Well, powers weren't too convoluted in 3. In 4, that's when they start to get convoluted, and I'm so glad 4 is getting its own series.
It's getting
so
looking
too.
forward to that.
Because now you get some of the... The other thing is, there's no good translation for 4.
Uh-huh.
The trouble with 4 is, it's not the most popular of the different parts.
Okay.
Because so much of it is just fluff.
All right,
There's a lot of just filler in part 5 and part 4.
Uh-huh.
And so a good chunk, the only translation that's out there in English are translations a bunch of Chinese students did as their English homework.
Oh.
So the scans are bad and the translations are terrible, and they've kind of become their own little like marks of honor in the community where it's like, no, we read the shitty Chinese to English translations.
Oh, that's
because they're
amazing.
hilarious. Like, what a beautiful duong it is.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
What a beautiful day.
I wonder if they're gonna like say something about that or do some sort of callback to it in the anime series.
I don't know, but like,
I could see them doing that because they're very like again in on the joke.
Yeah, no, the franchise is very, very self-aware and not in an infuriating way.
Yeah.
Which is so rare to get. So many times when things get self-aware, it's just like, hey, do you remember this? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Remember the thing that made you love us?
There's no nudging or winking in JoJo though. Like it's there and you know they're having fun because it's just so ridiculously stupid, but they never say anything about it.
A fireworks show.
Yay! Oh my! Oh.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. That poor village just got buried in freezing snow.
It's a good thing it was Sunday. Otherwise, someone might have gotten hurt.
God damn it.
Yep. Oh man. Are you familiar with Phalus?
Phalus.
He-
No.
He was on that guy with the glasses for a while, and eventually he split with them because they were awful to work with.
I don't know. That guy with the glasses is one of those things that I just...
You never got into.
No. Like,
Okay.
I can honestly say I don't think I've seen a single episode of anything that was on that.
Okay. I mean, that's fair enough.
The closest I've ever seen is somebody did a mashup, because apparently Nostalgia Critic did, like, hey, here are the good things from the prequel trilogy.
Oh, yeah, and someone did a mashup between that and the Plinkett reviews.
Yeah, because so much of the stuff that he was praising is the shit that Plinkett was tearing apart.
Yeah.
And it's like they
It's like
agreed
the
on maybe
lightsaber
one
duels
thing.
were cool. Well,
What kind
they
of
didn't
fucking
mean
idiot.
anything.
They were so empty and and vapid that you would have to be some kind of fucking idiot to find them interesting.
And then it shows Nostalgia Critic saying they're interesting. Yeah. No, the Nostalgia Critic, I watched him for a while, and then he got like samey and boring and irritating, and so I stopped, and then he stopped doing Nostalgia Critic, and so I was like, oh, good. That's nice. I'm glad he did that, and he's just focusing on the site now. So I started watching his other thing, and it was just boring.
Yeah.
Like, it had potential, but it was just lame.
Like-
And then, like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened. But anyway, then he stopped doing that and went back to the Nostalgia Critic, but he took off some of the chains that had previously bound him. And it was actually okay for a little while, because I think he had a writer who wasn't him. There was this guy named Malcolm, I think, and he was also one of the actors from that point on. But eventually it just got to be Nostalgia Critic shit again, and yeah, I have gotten a much lower respect for Doug than I used to have, just because of various things I've learned about him and everything like that. But yeah, that's not the reason to go to that website, and I actually don't go there anymore because almost everybody I liked who was on there is gone now, and those who aren't gone, I watch them elsewhere just to support them instead of that guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
Like the Nostalgia Chick actually was really good. She doesn't do a whole lot now because I think she's got other jobs, but she was very intelligent and had some good commentary on various movies. And Phalis, I actually didn't really learn much about him until like near the end of his time at that guy with the glasses. And he's like not the smartest person or anything like that. There's no, like, you don't watch him for stupid insights into various things. You watch him because he doesn't give one fuck about anything, and he will, like, he's kind of like Red Letter Media in that he actively fucks with his audience. Like, they give him feedback and then he like very pointedly disregards it. It's beautiful. But yeah, he just does the dumbest shit. A lot of the time when he's reviewing things, he'll put in little edits where characters die and stuff like that, and he never says anything about it. He just makes them die, and then he just keeps going. And it's beautiful. So yeah, why the hell did I mention Phalis? Oh, because he actually did a retrospective on the initial dub for Dragon Ball Z. And he just brought up all these weird fucking things that happened in it. And one of them was Vegeta pointing at, like, when Vegeta and Nappa first came to Earth, they blew up this city. And Vegeta was looking at the city, and he said, "It's a good thing it's Sunday, otherwise someone might have gotten hurt." It's just so bad.
I completely forgotten about that.
Yeah. And like I mentioned the TN with the parachutes thing earlier, like that was in that retrospective as well. And there was just thing after thing after thing that they did that were completely baffling censorship. And sometimes they even censored things that they didn't censor in other places, or things that like totally didn't need to be censored. It's just the weirdest. So that might be a video worth watching. I'll send it to you at some point. But yeah, anyway, Phalis is a lot of fun just because he does not care at all about anything. He just has fun and does his videos.
Speaking of weird censorship, did I tell you about German Naruto?
I don't... Wait, I think you did, but I don't remember anything about it, sorry.
Okay, so Germany, for the longest time, had these really, really weird and very specific censorship laws. Especially on the point of not showing weapons in anything for kids.
That's right, you did mention this.
So, when it came time to translate Naruto, because Naruto was such a big deal back in the day, and it had to go everywhere, when it came to translating it to German, they would just, like, brush out all of the weapons. So a lot of moments where people were getting stabbed, it's like they're getting very vigorously hugged. Well, because they're ninjas, there's so much backstabbing. It's like there's so much aggressive cuddling in this series, and they are really not into it.
Yeah.
And like instead
amazing.
of shurikens, it's these little energy pellets that just get flung, so it's almost DBZ levels.
Yeah.
But the best is the character Zabuza with his magic floating stick. So, for people not familiar with the Naruto series, the character Zabuza is this badass evil ninja, and he's one of the first major opponents in the franchise. And he has this giant fucking sword. We're talking like Cloud Strife or Guts level sword, where it's as long as he is tall. And he just loves pointing it at people. And he is very aggressive with this thing. And there are so many scenes where he just like somebody's talking to him and he doesn't give a shit about what they have to say, so he just points it right at their face.
Oh my god.
And so it's just like now he's menacingly pointing a stick at somebody. Or his big entrance for the start of his fight with the main characters is the whole point of that arc is they're protecting this guy. And this other evil guy hired Zabuza to go kill him. So they're just walking through the woods, and all of a sudden, the competent leader of their gang is just like, everyone, get down now! And so everyone drops to the ground, and this sword comes flying over their head and lodges halfway through a goddamn tree.
Yeah.
And they look up, and Zabuza's standing on the hill, and he's like, I'm here to kill all of you. In the German version, it's just this stick flies harmlessly past all of them. Wouldn't even hit them if they tried. And it's just floating by the side of this tree. And Zabuza's there, he's like, I have a stick.
That is amazing.
So ridiculous and bad.
Yeah.
I think Germany has gotten more lax on these laws, and now it's like, yeah, we can actually have weapons in our shit. No Nazi things.
Right.
Definitely no Nazis.
Yeah.
But fuck those guys, especially if they look cool.
Yeah.
Which is why Jojo will probably never be in German.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Well, it's not like they look cool in Jojo, but yeah, they're Nazis and they're kind of good guys.
Sort of?
I mean, well, at least in the second arc.
kind of becomes a bro.
Yeah. Well, and they help out against this greater evil.
Yeah. Well, because giant naked super vampires are threatening to destroy the world.
Well, yeah.
The Nazis are like, they aren't Aryans, so we need to kill them.
They're not really vampires so much as the apex predator above vampires. They
are to vampires what vampires are to humans.
Yeah.
But it is so much easier to just say they're super vampires.
Yeah, I guess.
Because when you need to go and describe these things, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, well, they're affected by sunlight just like vampires, so I guess there's that.
Yeah. Where it's like they're 10,000-year-old super beings that invented vampires because they needed something to eat and humans weren't good enough.
Yeah.
So they needed to pump up humans so humans would be superpowered because then they would be good food for them.
Yes. It's so great.
And they're all naked and pose very dramatically constantly.
Hey now, they're not naked. They're just mostly naked.
Oh, battle tendency, the most metrosexual thing ever invented.
It really is. Like, there's so many things that could be taken as gay, but are very clearly not gay.
I mean, the main character gets married at the end, so he has a very strict case of the not gays.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and he also looks in on his mom. And I'm not even going to put that one into context.
No, he creeps on his mom on several occasions.
Yep.
I still think that's the best clip, where it's just taking the ending clip of Battle Tendency, and it's Jonathan on the boat, not Jonathan, Joseph on the boat, and he has that weird face, and it's just somebody overlaid all the times he was creeping on him.
Yep.
It's like the realization that was my mom.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. I think it's better without the context, because with the context, it's not quite as hilariously creepy.
Yeah. Well, everything JoJo is slightly better without the context.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why if you don't mind some out-of-context spoilers, Contextless JoJo is one of the best Tumblr accounts ever.
Yes.
Because then you get shit like The Taste of a Liar. Or, shit, what's another really good one? Everyone knows Taste of a Liar.
Yeah.
I need to have more of these ready in my mind so I can pull these out.
Yeah, they are fantastic. And I don't remember most of them either. Because I saw almost all of my JoJo experience in context, so. Oh well.
Most of the Jotaro in the jail cell.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know one of the best ones. It has these 2 high school kids sitting down, and one of them is looking super suspicious. And the other one picks up some food off his plate, eats it, and then he looks really in pain, and his teeth just rocket out of his face.
Oh, God.
The other one gets up and looks like he's about ready to fight, and he summons up his stand, and the one whose teeth rocket out gets up, smiles, he has nothing but perfect teeth, like, my mouth feels amazing!
Oh my God.
That's in part 4.
That makes no sense. I love it.
Oh man, Pearl Jam is the best stand. It is the worst, most useless stand. I love you, Pearl Jam.
Oh man. I kind of want you to tell me what it does, but I kind of don't.
Or another really good one. It has this like little Yoda-looking dude, and he's talking to a dragon statue behind him. He's like, "Where's the Feng Shui?" Over there. And all of a sudden, his legs just explode as springs and rocket him in the opposite direction. And he looks so confused.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Or,
Oh.
this one guy in like a buffalo hat. It has Pinocchio in his hands. And he's like, "If you kill me, you'll ruin all the lives of the children!" And he just punches its head off. All the hopes and dreams of the children! I don't know who you are.
Oh, that's great.